everybody, and welcome to Colorado and Company. Well, as you can see, we are outside, and we've got a really tiny house, and there is a reason for that. The Tiny House Festival is kicking off this weekend, and with us today is Aria and Art. How are you guys?
Great.
Good. Well, I'll start with you, Aria. Tell us about this tiny house and the features that it has.
Yeah, absolutely. So I founded Wilderwise 5 years ago. This is actually our very first build, and it's very unique. One of the standout features is that it offers a full 2 stories, so you can actually stand up upstairs. There's 6.5 feet of headroom, and that's made possible through a lifting roof mechanism. It's lifted right now, but when we're ready to travel, we bring the roof down by about 4 feet, and we can tow it on roadways without the need for any special permits. That's supported by also a lightweight aluminum frame that keeps the weight down, makes it easier to tow, as well as these modular building panels. So a big issue sometimes in urban and suburban areas is that there's only very narrow access roads to get into a backyard where you want to park the tiny house. And so this one actually can be disassembled and then reassembled in the backyard. It's our way of accessing that untapped real estate.
It is unbelievable. I could be in there streaming Netflix all day because we checked it out. What are some of the reasons people are buying tiny houses or downsizing?
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest, most obvious reasons is cost. I mean, this is a way that people can access the empowerment in home ownership without going into debt. It's also a great way for people to live remotely, work remotely, especially after the COVID pandemic. And ultimately, a lot of people go tiny for the simplicity when you don't have all this stuff and to have so much space to fill with stuff. It's a way for people to truly live in their values and live the life of their dreams.
And it is a dream inside. That's all I'm saying. Okay, Art, there's a new legislation around living in tiny houses in Colorado. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so before May, in Colorado, you could not live in a tiny home in most places. There were a couple counties that you could, but generally it was considered an RV. The new legislation essentially changes tiny homes into a permanent living option, even tiny homes on wheels. So there are some rules around that. It's a kind of a starting point, but basically now these are real property and you could actually live in them full-time, legally, legitimately in Colorado.
It is easy, convenient living, and you've got all the amenities you need. Okay, the Tiny House Festival happening this weekend. What other kind of houses can people see out there?
So we've got the full gamut of tiny living. There's school buses, vans that are converted. We've got a yurt out there, some teardrops. And so really anything that's small that is unique recreational or tiny living, people live in a teardrop. It's not easy probably, but they do. And so all that's out there for the whole weekend.
I love this. Okay, how do we get tickets to come out to this event?
ColoradoTinyHouseFestival.com.
All right, that's simple. And Aria, I got to ask you, what inspires you about tiny houses?
Well, I think the best way to answer that question is to show you. So why don't you come on inside?
Yeah, let's go. I'm really curious to see how you plan these out and get so much into such a tiny house.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, show me what's inside here. It's unbelievable.
So we do our best to maximize the space and make it really comfortable and homey, but also highly functional. So we have lots of cabinetry, full kitchen and bathroom, living space downstairs. And then upstairs, we have a queen-size bed and an office can be converted into a second bedroom. And we really do our best to work with customers and accommodate the requests that they have to really make it truly their own, while also offering different preset designs to keep the cost down.
Well, you've got everything you need inside this house already. So thank you for bringing this right here to our studios. And I'm telling you, I could live here. I could be here all day long.
I love living here. It's a perfect size space for for 2 people, a small family, and it's been a joy to be in this space.
Absolutely. Okay, everyone, there you have it. And if you want to see more tiny houses, you can do so by attending the Tiny House Festival, and that is kicking off. And it's actually the largest tiny house and alternative living event in Colorado this weekend, June 25th and 26th at Riverdale Regional Park. Learn more and get tickets to the Tiny House Festival by calling 303-900-5477 or go online, ColoradoTinyHouseFestival.com.